Hey apes, I'm Jack, and we watched The Empire Strikes Back, a Star War, a
A
Star
Star
War
Wars
TM,
story.
a Star War. Well, you can't say that because that is a literal thing now.
That is
That's
that
what
is a subtitle in the
Rogue One,
Oh,
a Star Wars story,
Solo, a Star
Solo, a
Wars
Star Wars
story.
story.
oh, God damn it!
Yeah. So
Ugh.
not quite to that extent. But
I'm Jamison, and I also watched Empire.
I'm Davey, and I also watched Empire.
I really thought you were gonna say that you watched a different movie because that would have been a comedic. Hey, Davey, take it again.
I'm
Take
Davey, and I watched
Muppets
Sex
the
in the City too.
Oh, okay. Muppets the musical. Take
Sex
it
and the
again
City.
and replace it with Muppets the musical, please.
Okay. Hi, I'm Davey, and I watched Muppets in Space.
There you go. Perfect.
All right, we got it clean.
We got it clean. Cut, wrap.
We got it clean.
Oh my lord. You boys, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do with you?
Talk about Star Wars, I think.
Talk about a Star
Yeah.
War.
Talk about the next Star Wars that we
I
watched.
don't know about you
Yeah,
guys, but Papa
the one
love a Star War.
Papa love a Star War. Yeah.
I think it's crazy that the rebels didn't have a scout in space above Hoth.
Yeah, a little bit
to
for
make sure
sure.
that there weren't guys shooting probe droids around.
All right, yeah. So my
Suck
first
on
note
that.
was about those probe droids that the Empire sends out to
Yeah.
obviously scout Hoth.
Mhm.
The design of those as a kid, they used to kind of creep me out because they're
Yeah, they
like
got a lot of dangling parts and it
Bug-like.
rotates
it's
and
like
it
the shape is
ambulates and
vaguely
articulates.
I wrote down that the shape is vaguely like jellyfish with
Yeah.
like a dark metal, obviously,
Hmm.
and then that broadcast noise it makes is also a little
Wan in,
bit
wan out.
vaguely creepy.
Wan in, wan out.
Yeah,
Wan in, wan out.
yeah. Not as creepy when you do it than when it
All
does
right.
it, but
Well, I
still.
was giving it my best. I was giving it
Yeah,
all I
it sounded
got,
good. It was
Captain.
close.
My God. Okay, I can respect that. I will say a lot of a lot of Star Wars sound effects, and I'm learning much of the score with me. I associate a lot more with the Star Wars video games I've played than necessarily. So like,
Wan in, wan out.
your first like emotional response to that is remembering how creeped out you were as a kid watching the film. Whereas I just remember every fucking Game Boy game I've played
Oh my God, you're
with that
right.
sound
Oh,
effect.
fair.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
Like in the Game Boy,
Oh,
I don't know if you had it or maybe if you played my copy of it, Davey, but there was this one Game Boy Advanced Star Wars game by Ubisoft that was really fun actually. It was kind of like it wasn't open world in the sense that a lot of people think Metroidvania games are, but it was Metroidvania-esque. Like a little
yeah.
platform adventure
I
game.
think. Oh, I think I have that one. Yeah,
You
that
have
was
to
one of the
like
first
kill.
Game Boy games I ever had.
I was gonna also mention this when we got to the Wampa thing, but like you have to kill like 4 Wampas to get out of that cave, and Luke only blasts the arm off of one. So there were
Okay,
similarities.
I know of the game you're talking about. I didn't play it, but I had a friend who had it.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, that's just funny to me because my emotional response to that is not being creeped out by it because I played a
Yeah.
video game or whatever you hear it a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there.
Understandable, yeah.
I get why it freaked you out, but it's definitely more of the like it's the video game noise for me too.
Yeah, you
Also, the
remember it
Blu-ray
from a different context.
the Blu-ray menu music, for me, like I know it's a song from the film. All I could hear, my first thought, and all I could hear was Star Wars Battlefront 2 menu music,
Yep.
and that was just the only thing I could think about the like DVD menu music. I was like, well, playing
I've
Star
gotta
Wars
like look
Battlefront
at
2.
the
There's also that one track that anytime I hear it, all I hear is the transition music between stages in Lego Star Wars. I think we probably talked about that because it's in the Phantom Menace a lot.
dun 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 dun
No,
dun.
not that.
No, that one.
Not that
Okay.
one. It's
That one's level transition in Battlefront, I think.
Is there level transition music in Battlefront?
I know that song from more so from the video games than from the movies, but it's been in a few of the movies so far.
Well, I mean, I would imagine all of the songs that are in Star Wars video games are from
Yeah.
the movies.
Well, yeah.
Why on
yeah.
earth
Yeah.
would you mess with perfection?
You've already got a perfect jizz.
Exactly.
All right. Why did we let this degenerate scum into our recordings? Somebody
I don't
remind
know.
me. Oh my god.
I
I
don't
assume you
know.
guys
I
can't hear
didn't
the
name it
dogs,
that.
but it's you said
You
jizz.
We
cannot.
can't. I cannot
I
hear the
Called it
dogs.
jizz.
I did not name the
Yeah.
music that. Yeah.
No one named the music that. So by ipso facto, you called the music jizz just now.
Yep.
What are you saying?
He said you got the good jizz. That's what I heard.
I've never heard anyone else refer to good music as good jizz.
No, the music from the cantina in Star Wars
Uh-huh.
is called jizz.
Source?
Really?
I'm pretty sure George Lucas said it.
I don't think so. Gonna need a source on that one, Chief.
I'm finding it.
Gonna need you to provide me a source. Jamison, let's fucking get away from this scumbag. What do you got any opening notes? Anything of interest to say about Hoth?
My first couple
Polar
of notes
opposite
are
of
basically
where we started on the first one. Go on though.
Yeah, so my first couple notes are I noticed as Luke was leaving the Wampa cave right after he like sliced off the Wampa's arm, obviously.
Right.
It's like a very little thing, but it's just a random thing I noticed since I was like just getting into the movie and starting to pay like very close attention. They
Proof, bitch.
they play the light
Don't interrupt
they
Jameson,
play the lightsaber.
please.
Don't interrupt me. Please. They play the lightsaber close sound effect as Luke is leaving the cave, but the lightsaber doesn't close. Just like a random little thing I noticed. Cool. Cool.
Okay.
Sorry, you're gonna need to say all of that again because I'm investigating Davey's claim here, and I'm finding it
Davey's claim.
dubious at best.
Okay. Fair enough.
For one thing, he linked to a Legends article on Wikipedia. Not even well, I guess StarWars.fandom.com is what Wikipedia is now.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna read this sentence in its entirety.
Go ahead.
Subgenres of jizz include jizz whale, albade, and glitz. Also, the music form jats was reminiscent of, or in some ways, similar to jizz.
I told you I didn't make it up.
Yeah, but just because Kevin J. Anderson made it up doesn't mean it's fucking canon. First mentioned in
I really like jizz whale bands.
Yeah, so Jizz Whale. The Return of the Jedi novelization introduced the term Jizz Whaler to describe a musician, but the term jizz as the name of the musical style was not introduced until the publication of Tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina 12 years later. Which I'm not here to debate the veracity of the canonicity of Tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina, but I do not believe it was at any point canonical.
I don't know.
Ugh.
And it certainly wasn't George M. Lucas who said jizz. Why? What was the context? Never mind. I'll figure it out when I'm editing. What a nightmare. What context did Davey first reference jizz? Because
we
at
were
no
talking
point were
about
we
music.
right, but we weren't talking about
in
jizz
the
whaler
movie.
music. Or jats, which is similar to
Jats is good. I like jats better.
yeah, jats is significantly better than jizz. I'll grant you that. That's Davey's one take of the video. He's not allowed anymore. Jats is better than jizz. Throw it up on screen. That's Davey. Quote him. Throw the date up there.
Fuck you.
Fucking Jesus Lord.
Ugh.
What was your note, Jason? I'm so sorry that this fucking scumbag,
Jesus.
this fucking degenerate interrupted you for that.
I'll leave right now.
That.
This fucking wastoid.
I'll leave right now.
No, you won't. Anyway, what did you say, Jamison?
It's just an editing joke that is if you're aware of the Simpsons bit where Milhouse is in the classroom with all, like, they're all in the classroom and Milhouse asks Bart to say the line, and then Bart says the line. I don't actually even remember what the line is anymore in the episode, but
Yeah, because it's a meme.
the line for the joke would be, "I thought they smelt bad on the outside,"
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
obviously just finish with the the
Because
2
I've been
seconds of the class going
shoehorning
wild.
it into every conversation for like months now, and then it finally happened.
Yeah. Say the line, Bart.
I did Luke, I am your father to the line though, because he doesn't say I thought these things smelled bad on the outside. He says I thought it smelled bad on the outside.
Yeah.
I thought it smelled bad on the outside. It's actually insane, by the way, that this is Han's solution to the problem. To slice this creature open and put a guy inside it. It's actually deranged
Make a
behavior.
Tauntaun sleeping bag.
Yeah, it's actually crazy.
Yeah, especially in a world where, like, they have so much technology. That felt very... I mean, we keep going back to Han as a rank amateur.
The man just is out there, and I cannot believe it's
He is-
allowed. He's just out there making decisions.
I can't believe he's not an X-Wing pilot. I can't believe there's
He'd be
not
long
a
dead.
ship with more wings, because he's just out there fucking winging it. Like,
Oh, good. I should have just let you get there. That was a good bit.
thank
Good
you.
joke.
That was a good one.
Oh, man.
He's making it up, and he's wrong most of the time, but
Yeah,
not
it's
wrong
nuts.
enough to stop it.
The ask of this scene is that we're to believe that it's more pragmatic to slice a creature open and put a guy inside of it, and then set up your temp shelter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly an insane decision. Here's the other thing I will say is, I only bring this up because we talked about it when we talked about A New Hope, a little bit. At no point does Han make it seem like he's gonna come back after he pays off Jabba. He very much is playing it like he's leaving and he's not coming back.
Yeah.
But it
Oh,
could
yeah.
just be a ploy to get at Leia. Because he spends the whole movie trying to piss her off.
He does.
It's pretty obvious that, like, he's absolutely egging her on the entire movie.
Yeah, he's fucking with her from start to finish. Except for when he's being really bad at operating his own ship.
Yeah. I did have a note that's just like, oh, it's literally my next note is just, oh yeah, watch this, and
Watch
then it just doesn't
this.
work.
Fucking check
And then
this
it just
shit
doesn't-
out.
That's exactly what my note was. It gave me check this shit out vibes.
Yeah. That's half of Han Solo's character.
It really is.
Check this shit out.
So, Davey, I want to know,
Made me laugh way
do you
harder than it
take
should
any
have.
notes when you watch these, or do you just
I write some bulletins
Did you?
down. Just
Okay, that's what I do. I just do
kinda-
bullet points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do bullet points.
Did you watch it again since yesterday, or are you just
Most
going
of
off
it.
of a week ago?
I skipped. No, I watched it like last night and this morning a bit. I did skip the Hoth part because I watched that like 2 days ago randomly
I
in the living
also
room.
did not recall
But-
that it's a full fourth of the movie is Hoth.
Yeah.
It's the first entire act.
It makes sense if
Hoth.
you think about it this way, in that that's their big action set piece is the Battle of Hoth. It's just they've
Mhm.
decided to do it at the beginning of the film instead of the end.
Yeah.
Because Hoth is their big locations shoot, and then the rest is pretty much just sound stages.
Yep. Because
Yeah.
like the mining colony is just some. I'm pretty sure.
Cloud City.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Dagobah is definitely not real.
No. Fuck no. Are you kidding?
Um,
Dagobah's filmed at a laser. Little
in a laser
tag.
tag arena.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, I do. I love Yoda in the sequel trilogy so much. He's just a crazy old bastard, and it's great.
he actually, I'm gonna push back on this. He super
No, he's-
isn't. He's putting up a front, and also when they go back to the prequels, they fuck up the way he speaks, and they way over exaggerate it.
They
Yeah.
way
He
over
speaks
exaggerate
more or
the
less
yeah.
normal. He speaks like a complete freak when he's pretending to be a freak, for sure.
Mhm.
But it's still not as bad as any one line from the prequels. And then when he drops the persona, he more or less speaks completely normally from then on out. It just like is a little bit more. It's like how you would expect somebody old to talk rather than like I don't want to say archaic because then people will be like, well, that's the intent of the prequel, the way he's talking in the prequels, and it isn't. They're just fucking up where the prepositions are.
Yep.
And where the fucking nouns are. But in this one, like, I don't know. It just was like, I felt vindicated because Jamison and I had a whole discussion about how Jamison was pretty sure that his affectation is just as pronounced in these movies as it is in the prequels, and I'm like, there's no fucking way it is. So I
No.
just felt a
Yeah,
little bit vindicated.
I
that
was
it's not.
totally wrong on that. Yeah.
But we're a little bit ahead of that. He has some great lines that some of my notes are literally just lines that Yoda says.
I would
He's got
love
some
to,
really
to,
good
to
lines.
get
That's
some
We'll
what
great
I
get
love
lines
there.
though.
from, yeah.
Is like
We'll get there.
he's doing it on purpose, but he's still a crazy old bastard,
Yes.
and he's just saying shit, and I love
Well,
it.
he's a fucking grumpy piece of shit, really.
Yeah, he's 900 years
pretends
old.
to be a crazy old man.
And he keeps
Well, he's
watching
learned
most
fucking
teenagers
nothing.
all
Well,
over
he
the
hasn't
galaxy.
learned nothing, but
He
He's
keeps
learned
watching
not
and
as
they're
much as he should
helping
have.
emo teenagers
I'm just
all over
saying,
the
how many times are we gonna let this one fucking frog try to fuck up the galaxy before we just stop asking him shit? Rogue Squadron is a thing. Fuck yeah. I always kind of thought it was just a book thing. But it is, in fact, the squadron that Luke and Wedge are on at the beginning of this game,
Yeah.
and they do say that. Didn't remember
Yeah.
that. This has probably been the longest since I've seen this one, so that was cool.
Fair enough.
So it happens sometimes. Obviously, it happens sometimes between A New Hope and this one that Rogue Squadron finally gets formed, and they're like they're like a whole separate institution in the books. Like they are like the crack squad. And Luke, sometimes is on it, sometimes he isn't, but the squad continues, and they're always super badass. And if Rogue Squadron shows up, shit's about to get real. And then whatever, I guess they've retconned it so that Jin, technically, well, that one guy, I guess, that one pilot.
I kind of always took it, yeah.
Well, no,
it was a little on the nose.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have super strong feelings about that anymore, honestly. That, like, Rogue Squadron wasn't technically started by Luke. It was, this thing he did to honor Jin, I guess. But, like, I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine, I guess. We'll move past it. Doesn't matter. We're not talking about Rogue One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Mark Hamill got in a horrific car crash between A New Hope and this one.
Yep.
So they have to have. Yep. So that's why the Wampa bashes him in the face within the first 10 minutes of the film.
And it's like a lot more gruesome than I remembered. It's not that gruesome still, but there was like a lot more blood than I thought on his face.
He had to undergo major reconstructive surgery.
Yeah.
They put his ear in his nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Davey, you got any? No, you skipped Hoth. So you probably don't have any Hoth notes.
No, I watched Hoth a while ago, so I have a couple. Like, I watched it in passing a few days ago because it was on the TV. I think from a technical standpoint, it's still one of the coolest. Just because the way they did miniatures and everything.
Sure.
That was like 6 months of work in 10 minutes.
Well, the walkers are stop motion for one thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're damn good stop motion too, especially for that,
So their location this time was Norway. So that's all real ass snow. Which somebody apparently told them don't use real snow because any slight change in temperature is going to change the color of the snow. And they just fucking did it.
Good.
Did it anyway.
They gave it that like really good snowpack look on all the clothes.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that really lends authenticity.
Well, yeah, because when they're in the blizzard, that was in a blizzard. I don't think they did that.
Yeah.
I think the snow did that.
Yeah.
In the commentary, they were talking about this story about how the director called Harrison Ford because shooting a blizzard has a lot of technical problems with it because it's hard to get it to show up, or you have to use styrofoam on a sound stage or whatever. So there was an actual blizzard going on the location, so they couldn't shoot what they wanted to shoot, so they had to fly Harrison Ford out there to shoot his blizzard scene, because they had a blizzard, so might as well.
It's like, yeah, hey, we use it.
Yeah.
If we can.
I think bringing the whole ass executor to the battle was insane overkill by the Empire.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I guess they did.
that's kind of their bread and
Blow up
butter, though, is
this.
overkill and intimidation.
Sure.
Yeah,
But the
there is
Super
definitely a
Star
big element of that.
Destroyer? Sheesh. And it didn't even do anything.
Well, wasn't Vader looking for Luke, and that's why it was there?
Well, he's looking for the rebels.
Yeah,
He has the
true.
conversation with the Emperor later about how.
Yeah, he's not
Luke is his
explicitly
son.
looking for Luke until like
Right.
halfway through.
Yeah, it's the rebels, and they really make a point to show how expendable Imperial staffers are to Vader in this movie. Like right
Oh,
off the
yeah.
bat.
I will
Everybody
say,
getting choked
Like I
out.
forgot that they
Listening-
kind of did invent the trope of, oh, you fucked up, you're gonna die now. Like,
listening to the commentary for A New Hope really changed my mind about, because like even George mentions it, that like in that film, Darth Vader is just the henchman. He's not the guy in charge.
Yeah.
It very much appears like he's working for Tarkin, which makes it stand out so much more in this movie when he definitively is not a henchman but the guy in charge.
yeah.
Like, it is a very distinct difference. Also, Vader kills that admiral over nothing. It wasn't
Oh my
him
God.
that alerted the rebels. It was the probe droid. The rebels
Yeah.
knew that the Empire knew where they were because of the probe droid. Anyway,
Yeah. Vader just angry. Angry
Yeah.
baby man.
I'm pretty sure they changed the ion cannon effect from blue to rainbow. I don't remember it being rainbow. I remember it being
Yeah,
a
I'm pretty sure it
blue.
was blue.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
in that boat too. I'm pretty sure it was
Alright,
blue.
glad I'm not going crazy then. I didn't understand the logistics of any of this at first. So we cut to this big fleet, right, that Darth Vader's in charge of, and they all go to Hoth.
Yeah.
And then somehow
Yeah.
when the guys are flying out, they only have to deal with one Star Destroyer at a time. But yeah, I mean, this time it became obvious that they had put up a blockade around the whole of the ship, or the whole of the planet. So there was a net, and that was to their advantage because then they only have to disable one ship at a time with the ion cannon to get theirs through. So that was just something I didn't understand at first, but then it's like, well, it's a 3D environment. They can escape from any direction, so the Empire has to put ships everywhere. Anyway, that part makes sense to me now.
It would take a lot of ships to blockade an entire planet, so
This one, well, other than they can cover a very wide range. I don't know, whatever. It worked out for the rebels. Another misconception I had is I always thought that this was a plot hole. I thought that Wedge was Luke's rear seat man pretty much my whole life. And that he had died, quote unquote, but that he hadn't actually died because he shows up later and he's in the books or whatever.
Mhm.
But it's Dak that's his
Yeah.
that's his
backup
rear
man.
gunner, yeah.
Yeah. Did not. For some reason, I just had that misconception. This is probably the one I've gone the longest without seeing, so there's a few of those.
The most revelations for you to expand on, which is good.
All right, so feel free to stop me when we get past where you guys have stuff you want to talk about. Another note I have is that Han really stepped up the aftermarket mods on the Falcon. He's got the little auto turret now. That would have been pretty helpful in New Hope.
Yeah, he's been making a little bit of money, it looks like.
Well, he fucked up the hyperdrive. Hard drive.
Yeah, he fucked up the hard drive.
He did fuck up the hard drive.
He did fuck up the hard drive that has all of his games and stuff on it, so.
Yeah.
Well, it's got one copy of a modern day Call of Duty game.
All it's got is holodecks and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War.
Holochess.
All right, so any more notes on Hoth?
No.
I didn't have that many on Hoth.
I mean, we were talking about it a bit yesterday, actually. It's kind of where we start to see that Han's more committed to the rebellion.
Well, but again, when he's like, all right, I'm going to leave to go pay Jabba off, he really makes it seem like he's not coming back.
It really seems like he's not coming back, yeah.
True.
Luke left way after Han, but escaped several minutes before. Well, I mean, in the grand scope of the movie, it seems like it was several days before Han, but at least several
True.
minutes before him.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when he's on Dagobah learning from Yoda, and it's been like a couple days, they're still in the fucking asteroid field.
They're still in
Yeah.
the worm stomach at
They're
that point.
also in a different system when they are like trying to figure out how to get to Cloud City.
Oh, yeah,
He
they're in the
mentions they're in the
Noid system.
Anoda system or whatever. And it's like
Annoyed.
he couldn't jump to hyperspace. I don't give a fuck, by the way.
Fine.
He couldn't jump to hyperspace. So he's doing all of that on his fucking regular ass engines, which in fairness, okay, this is where once again we run into like weird Star Wars tech, and it doesn't matter because the tech exists to service the plot, as we already decided.
Yeah.
The plot doesn't exist to explain the tech. But he boasts to Luke that his engines are capable of going to 0.5 past light speed. Which doesn't make sense if he's talking about his hyperspace engine, because that goes way faster than that.
Yeah.
So if he's talking about what we would typically in sci-fi call your sublight engines,
That's what the fuck?
his ship is actually crazy fast. But then how do the fucking...
That's impossibly fast. That's awesome.
Well, it's impossible. Yeah.
If his sublight engines
For our
are
current
FTL
understanding.
capable,
Well, they would in a sense not be sublight. What's the opposite
they would
of
literally
sub?
not be
It'd
sublight
be
engines.
super light
Yeah.
engines.
Yeah.
But he says
Super
0.5
light.
he says 0.5 is the past light speed in A New Hope, but it doesn't make sense for him to be talking about the hyperspace drive at that point.
Hey, that's kind of dope.
I
mean-
none of it. It's fantasy, it's magic, it's not actually technology. But
No shit.
even then it would take many, many years to get from one system to another. So that
Yeah, it would.
part doesn't really track.
Yeah.
I do not remember the TIE fighters being that blue, is another one of my notes.
Yeah, they get a like blue steel treatment. It's weird.
Here's my next note. This is going to get superseded by a note later, but I'll say it now anyway. Just so you can know where my headspace was at watching this thing. Vader has spent 44 minutes in the balls so far. Luke just threw away his granola bar that Yoda took one bite out of. He just fucking threw it away. He's like, yeah, fuck this. I don't know what
I always
what
thought it
fucking
looked
diseases
like
this
so
swamp
like-
frog has. Get rid of this fucking thing.
Get rid of this fucking frog.
He's like, I don't want to fuck with whatever diseases this thing might be carrying.
Which, honestly, smart.
I really like how Yoda digs through all of Luke's shit just to pull out the flashlight,
Mm-hmm.
and is just super fascinated with a flashlight.
Yeah. All right.
I love how crazy Yoda acts.
Jesus, this guy has been around for 900 years, but couldn't handle 20 years of retirement.
Nope.
That's my next note.
Nope.
Yeah, he's
He went full insane in that 20 years.
he's a real allegory for former military.
Don't know about that. Move past it.
He does crumple within like 20 years of trying to live on his own.
Yeah, he did a bad job.
I guess is Dagobah like where he's from?
Davey, I have no fucking idea, and neither does anyone else.
All right.
The Yoda species is like the most unknown bit of lore, it seems.
My protocol droid theory, Jamison, from all the way back in Phantom Menace was proven correct in this one.
Remind me what the theory was?
So when he's talking about all the languages he speaks, he's talking about computer coding languages. So he can communicate between computers and people. And it's just a happenstance that he knows any other language of... Not happenstance, I guess, but...
I put that in my notes as well as the droids and ships talk to each other, talk being in a
literal sense. If
in
we're
a
to
very
believe-
in that
Yeah,
some ships can
and-
have odd dialects, and 3PO
Yeah.
warns R2 from talking to strange computers.
Mm-hmm. It's just wild because I spent this whole time not knowing at all that was the obvious intent of the character. So it's funny to me
I
that,
thought it was
that
like he just spoke all these alien languages.
I thought his
time.
purpose was to be a translator, and it is in a sense, but not for people to people, for people to machine.
Yeah, but he also has.
He does
some
say
people-to-people
human-cyborg relations. It's worth noting, although cyborg is...
He
doesn't
does,
matter.
yeah.
Cyborg's a different thing than a droid, so that's actually good. That actually muddies the waters way more to say
He's
human
actually
cyborg
there
relations.
he's actually he's there to make it he's there to kind of field Luke and Anakin for people, you know, the cyborgs.
Oh, I was gonna make a Lobot joke, but yeah, I guess they are also cyborgs by the end of this film. And here's my next note. This is the one that supersedes the previous one. It took Vader a total of 52 minutes to get out of the ball in this film. Minute 52, he gets out of the ball. There's that one guy who dies
for Vader.
mid-Skype
Ball
call.
quite literally is life, you know.
Yeah, there's the one guy he Skype calls and kills.
No, not that guy. When they're trying to find the Falcon in the asteroid field, one of the ISDs gets hit by a big rock in the foreground actually, and then it cuts to the interior, and there's a hologram call of 3 of the captains and Vader, and one of the guys puts his hands up and then fizzles out and dies. It's very funny. One of my favorite little things that happens in the background.
I gotta get that little background scene.
Well, given on the location of this note, I would say it's somewhere around the 52-minute mark.
Sounds good.
Around when Vader gets out of the ball. The conversation where the Sith talk about turning Luke is very interesting because they're both talking about using Luke to usurp the other one, and they both also know that.
Yeah.
So it's like a very civil conversation when they're both like, hey, you know, I could use this kid to kill you. And he's like, yeah, but not if I use this kid to kill you first. And they're like, good, a plan. And then the call ends.
Wouldn't that be fun? A plan.
They're just like, use this kid to kill each other. And
We've reached an accord.
Very much,
you know,
it's very much been
in their defense, their plan works. They both get killed.
But explicitly not because of the kid.
True.
Because of each other, really. At this point in the series, it's explicitly like part of the Sith ideology to just betray each other all the time.
It's the rule of 2. Do you know about the rule of 2?
As soon as you
Jamison?
found a third, yeah, there's always a master and there's always an apprentice.
Yeah. Well, but that's all they can have. That's it.
Yeah, as soon as you find a third, one of them has to go.
Yeah, kind of. There's a gray area there. They're just often Sith raising apprentices in secret to help kill their masters. The whole thing. They don't really talk about it much. That's the only line I can think of that references the rule of 2. And they certainly don't call it the rule of 2 in that line. He just says always 2 there are.
I could talk a little bit about the like overall escape. So obviously the Millennium Falcon escapes into the asteroid cave, worm cave.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they get most of their repairs finished and stuff like that, but it doesn't quite work. They obviously have to leave the cave because it reveals itself to be a worm.
Yeah.
And
just
so
for the record, I'm really sorry to interrupt you, and I will let you finish. Carrie Fisher in her commentary does refer to it as being in the belly of another slug. Which really begs the question of what she thinks the first slug that she was in the belly of is. Because if this is another, I'm lost, truly.
I could not tell you.
Anyway, I'm so sorry.
So their next plan to escape from the Empire is they basically they flip around and they're like gonna, fly past and escape from behind, but they essentially land
buzz the
on
bridge.
they land on is that the bridge or
yes,
the big, what is that part they land on?
The big square is the bridge, yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So they land on the back of the bridge and just like literally hang out there like a fly on someone's ass.
Right. Which, it really feels like they should have sensors to detect that, for one thing.
It really feels like they should have sensors for explicitly, right on the back of the bridge.
Yeah.
We should,
something.
But
any windows, it's something.
Literally just like an ability to visually scan the back
I have
of
another issue with that exact thing that you're talking about, because that is one issue that I had watching it. There's another one, which is that when the trash gets jettisoned, that's where Boba Fett's
Yeah, it's like
Which, like,
why is
okay,
the
I guess he's a
slave one with
cunning.
all the trash?
I guess he's a cunning bounty hunter. But even if he had somehow deduced that that's where the Falcon was, his plan was, but that would have required him to fly his ship into the trash bay through the back of the bridge before Han landed there, I feel like. Unless there's some other really big entrance to the trash container area.
I do not know. I didn't
Absolutely,
see clear enough.
absolutely bizarre. Like that particular sequence.
Like how did he? Why? Why?
How
is
did he know
Boba
he was there?
What
Why was his
inclination?
ship in the trash just so he could get the drop on them? Insane. Also, the Empire got to Cloud City first. How?
Yeah, that's a
Um,
good question.
I thought it's because they didn't have the hyperdrive fixed, so they had to go off their sublight engines,
This would
basically their
again
super
take
light engines.
hundreds of years to get from system to system.
Which, yeah, we already discussed wouldn't work.
I think it would make
in a
more
pure
sense if they
physics sense,
had been able
but
to get their hard drive again. Christ. If they'd been able to get their hyperdrive to work for one jump, makes more sense as a logical explanation for it.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
But then, for sure, how did the Empire get there first?
Well, and also, why are the if the hyperdrive's fixed, they wouldn't be bound to Cloud City, because
Well,
that's why
yeah,
they're
but
there
if
to
you
get it
can
repaired.
get your ship to do one more jump, you know what I mean? Like if you've got
Yeah.
enough gas in your car to get to the gas
Like,
station, you're
yeah,
not
or like
like,
live
oh
to the nearest
now
parking lot or
I'm
something like
good. I
that. Yeah.
might as well go to Walmart first. It's like, no, you're gonna go to the gas
Yeah.
station.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah. I did have a note
I think
that calls the like dark side cave on Dagobah.
Mm-hmm.
I called it the peyote vape cave.
Okay, great.
there you go.
It is a really like important moment for Luke's like training, though, because it's, at least the way I read it, is that it's about the demonstrating how easy it would be for him to become the Vader type.
Yeah, it's this idea that if he strikes Vader down, he will become Vader.
And it definitely like affects him in this major way in terms of the rest of his journey.
Yeah, it
Irvin
doesn't.
Kershner had a very different analysis on what that scene meant.
What did he say?
I don't remember exactly, but it was out there. I didn't get the impression that Irvin Kershner had ever seen this film when I was listening to the commentary. Always looking to the future, never his mind on where he was, on what he was doing. This is Yoda's reason for rejecting Luke.
Yeah.
And demonstrates, if we want to be generous, it demonstrates character growth from the prequels, where the only thing Yoda is fucking doing is trying to like look into the future to see what's going on. Whereas if he fucking opened his eyes in the present, he may have perhaps picked up on Palpatine a little sooner.
Yep.
Yeah.
May have been able to do something about it before it happened. I definitely think that's an element of self-criticism from Yoda as well.
If we want to be generous, because again, one line was written in the 80s.
I
and the
had.
other
True.
in 2000
I don't.
whatever.
I'm still working on what to extrapolate from this.
Go ahead.
But I did write a note when like the scene when like Vader shows up at Cloud City with Lando.
Mm-hmm.
The look that Han gives him, I just wrote bruh.
Yeah, it's a bruh. It's absolutely a bruh moment.
Absolutely absolutely like a bruh.
It's definitely a bruh moment when the door slides open and Vader's there. Han definitely has a bruh
Yeah,
moment.
also I do love Han for just immediately pulling the trigger. Like,
yeah, he did not hesitate for
no
sure.
hesitation.
Anyway, I started blasting.
Will not let that happen. He will start blasting first.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
Character growth for Han. He actually shot first this time. I also really love Darth Vader sitting alone in a dining room for Lord knows how long.
I love
waiting for this
Darth
fucking
Vader being
dipshit
like,
to show
"Won't
up.
I was wondering how long. I was wondering how long he had told Boba to wait, like behind stage left or whatever.
Oh, that's true. He
Because
was behind one
they
of the
wait for
columns.
Boba. Yeah, they wait. He has to wait for the door to open for Boba to walk out and reveal himself as well. So I'm like wondering how long they were both there.
Okay, very funny to imagine Boba Fett and Vader alone in a room. Vader is seated at the head of the table, and Boba Fett is crouched behind the pillar to his left.
Yeah, just kind of in silence.
Yeah, they're not chatting. They're definitely not chatting, for sure.
No.
They're not coordinating what's about to happen at all. I don't think Vader's even entirely sure what Boba's plan is.
Well, he's giving Han to him after he freezes. They're going to compensate him if Han dies in the
If
freezing
Han dies,
process. That's
yeah.
what he says, but that's way later. Not way later, I guess.
I found it really funny how easy it was for C-3PO to get just distracted by what sounds like an R2 unit.
Oh, hello there.
And then gets
Ijuda. How rude.
rude. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I will. Blam! And then, just his arms fly into frame.
Mm-hmm.
For the 1 second the door is still open. I thought it was
Chewie
really
looks
quite
around
funny.
the corner.
Benny
like,
Daniels
"Arr!"
described C-3PO as always ready to panic. Very funny thing to say.
Very apt, very fitting.
Yeah, absolutely. But I
The
just
man
really like the
understands his
way you put it.
character.
I just like the way you put it. Ready to
You can't
panic.
argue that he doesn't understand the character.
No, I would never. I really like the line where Luke is asking Yoda how he's gonna know what is like the regular force and what's the dark side tempting him. And the line Yoda says about "you will know when you are calm, at peace." I don't remember this last word, but that line I really, really liked. "You will know when you are calm" is like a really good mantra, I think.
Yeah. He's literally steering Luke away from the reactionary nature that Anakin had in the prequels, where Anakin was constantly afraid that like something bad was going to happen to Padme.
Well, in the last film, sure, when he started having visions
In the-
about it. Like
Well,
the visions
true.
he had
But
about his mother before his mother died.
The second one was his mother. Yeah. Yeah, Anakin had good reason to be worried for sure.
Listen,
Well-
he's a bad guy.
And
I
not
think he
remain
gets
calm.
very unfairly maligned. His fall makes sense for his character. Are they the mistakes
Yeah.
I
No,
would
absolutely.
make? Absolutely not. But it's not an out of nowhere suddenly, scene 1 he's good, scene 2 he's evil kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my next note is it's not about the size, it's about how you use it.
In reference to what exactly?
You know what?
Right, fair enough.
That's what Yoda says about his big
Oh, that's-
stinking force hog.
Then he lifts the ship out of the muck
That's
and
right.
guck.
Yeah, I'm remembering the
Yuck.
scene. I just didn't think of
What
it
do you
like that.
The fuck do you mean, dude? That's literally what he says. What the hell are you talking about?
Size matters not.
Didn't internalize it like that, I guess.
What he says, Davey, is "Judge me by my size, do you?"
Ah,
And then Luke says no. And then Yoda says, "As you should not, for the Force is my ally."
As you
Bullet mines.
Bullet
That's what
mines.
Tiabana gas is. It's the gas that they use for guns.
that powers
becomes
blasters.
superheated plasma. Well, it's not. It's the ammo. It's not.
Oh,
Doesn't
okay.
power it.
Oh, okay.
Plasma.
It's the gas that
Interesting.
gets superheated into plasma and then shot out of the blaster.
And that would because they have a set of lines where they reference that he's not a part of the mining guild
Right.
and
'cause
that he's
they're
a
Or the
small enough
Empire.
operation to get. Yeah,
which
he's a
like
small enough operation not to get bothered by the Empire.
or the mining guilds, and also that's bullshit. It's a whole
The
ass
mining
city.
guilds.
There's so many people that live there.
It's like he says it's small, and then when he does the announcement and it cuts to the entire ass city, it's like, no, this is not a mining colony. This is a city.
Well, it's a city that is a
In
mining
the
colony. It's a company town.
Yeah, I mean the
please.
city built around a mining colony, really. But it's
just
like,
like
I mean, like a
Denver.
whole ass city, really.
The old masters are understandably quite dodgy about Luke jetting off, but they don't get that this kid is built different.
This is
They
true.
They do not
Also, there,
understand.
like, my note for that was, no shit. The old man and the ghost have all the patience in the world.
They do
Like,
not.
For training, they do.
No, they don't. They're like, no,
they're
you can't
trying to
fucking. They have no patience. They're like, no, you have to stay here and finish your training. You can't fucking go. You can't leave and come back. I would describe that as being impatient.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah,
Luke is also being
I'm
impatient. In fairness to what you were saying, I get your point.
but
They are very impatient about getting Luke to finish his training.
Yeah, and they really do all but say you can't leave and come back. Like you won't be able to.
Yeah, which is objectively incorrect.
Yeah, I mean, like
I don't think they're saying that. I don't think they're saying like we won't train you if you leave and come back. They think
that's not what they're saying.
They think he's gonna get slimed by Vader.
Yeah,
because they don't believe that there's anything left in Vader that would prevent him from murdering his own son. But let's maybe tone down the myth that Irvin Kershner is a leagues better director than Lucas, perhaps.
No.
And I don't mean that as a slight. It's a great movie that's very well directed, but let's stop the Lucas slander. I'm coming out as very pro Lucas across this whole project.
I've reevaluated my stance on Lucas across this whole project.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really hate him to begin with, but
I think Kershner's ability to come in and not like change the style in a significant way.
The visual consistency is very admirable. And I know that a lot of that comes down to set and prop design and there being continuity there, but the director has just as much importance in that as those other things do. So I think Irvin Kershner does an amazing... I'm not in any way trying to denigrate the job Irvin Kershner did. He did an amazing job. It's a great movie.
I had a note that was they torture Han seemingly literally just because.
Yeah.
The only reason I could think of was to potentially create like the stir in the Force that Luke would then sense.
That was my thought as well. I had that exact thought.
But Luke and Yoda in a previous scene already saw the future.
I agree with you, but I do think the timeline gets a little hazy in this one because Luke is clearly on Dagobah for a while.
Yeah.
Like by the time in the course of the film, by the time Luke is on Dagobah, Han and Leia have not yet escaped the Empire, but logically that has to have happened before Luke got to Dagobah. So I think there was a couple weeks that they were on Cloud City and a couple weeks that Luke was on Dagobah that are just not shown. But the timeline is really unclear.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, it's not that Vader would have known that Luke and Yoda had already sensed what was going on as well. Yeah. So I agree with your first take that
I was going to say in context that he did it to create the stir in the Force that Luke would then sense. I think that's a decent explanation.
Yeah, I think it's a great theory. It's one I had as I was watching as well. I was like, oh, that makes so much sense that he's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's a little bit odd that he didn't start with Leia, but that may be some subconscious Force thing where he already knows that Leia's his daughter.
He's got. I feel like he's got some inklings.
Kind of thing. He does have inklings because surely he would have known that Luke Skywalker showing up at the 11th hour to save the rebellion in the first movie. Surely he would have known that that's his son or someone related to him. But the Emperor has to be the one to tell him, search your feelings, you know it to be true. So there is a denial mechanism within Vader where he may realize something subconsciously and then just not accept it. So it may be, but again, I'm not totally sure that they had that plot point worked out by this film. So
yeah,
I don't know if they did.
It's hard to tell because Yoda does have that line where Obi-Wan says like that boy's our last hope or whatever, and Yoda says no, there is another. So like maybe they did have that worked out, but one thing I want to say about that shot is that it's an absolutely gorgeous shot of like Yoda in the swamp, and then it goes to red because of the engine from Luke's X-wing. That shot, so good.
It's so
and then the lighting. That scene gave me the most like stage play vibes.
Yeah, we haven't talked about
the best of ways.
We've talked about a couple like really standout good shots, like we talked about the first shot of A New Hope. But that is, I think, one thing we may have to.
We talked about Dual Suns. Did we talk
We
about
didn't.
Luke staring into the
No, that's one
guns?
of our huge oversights that we're gonna have to do in the mop-up
That's
operation.
gonna
Is
be in
we
the
didn't
mop-up.
talk
Yeah,
about it. I think in general, I'm gonna do a lot of talking about shots I really
I'm gonna.
liked because that's like
I
the
think that's for
number.
mop-up. That's a good idea.
That's a good idea
Is
for
find a
mop-up.
lot of shots.
Yeah, I agree. Because that's like the number one thing I care about in movies now. After I tortured myself with the Marvel movies, is I'm just looking for any kind of like cool, interesting shots anytime I watch anything. And Star Wars has a absolute smorgasbord of them. Almost every single
Yeah.
shot is art in Star Wars.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it's
There are
good stuff.
so many you could
My
just
mic?
pull out
Okay,
and
cool.
put on
You're
your
good.
desktop as a screen, as your like
Absolutely
wallpaper.
gorgeous. I mean, the aesthetics of these films are like, I don't know if this is an obsession that you guys had growing up, but it's something I've always, that's like, it's something that lives rent free in my head, is like
Yes.
70s
Yeah,
fantasy
100%.
illustrations where like,
Yes. No. 100%.
that's like, that's an aesthetic that I am at all times, at every second of every day,
Always about.
some part of my brain is thinking about that and relishing
Any
it.
extension of it is
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
in my head. It's like Star Wars is the big one for sure, but there's like Heavy Metal Magazine is in my head sometimes, and like Cowboy Bebop I think has a lot of the same vibe,
Eh,
and like
yeah,
a lot
I
of
think you're
a
probably
lot of
right.
similar a lot of that similar like sort of a lot of similar properties and art styles live rent free in my head, but Star Wars is kind of the big almost unifier of the ones that have always been in my head.
Yeah, Star Wars is definitely like the archetypal dark fantasy.
Yeah.
I've always I think with Star Wars more so than a lot of movies, the visual consistency and the depth to the like creation of the props and the sets is so astoundingly detailed that they're so well done and so well crafted that they're insanely believable.
Oh yeah.
Like if you're gonna like study a set, the Star Wars like Mos Eisley sets are really good ones to start with.
All right, let's finish this off. The line, "Perhaps you think you're being treated unfairly," is only intimidating because of Billy D. Williams' reaction to it, which, like, Billy D. Williams is such an excellent lift to the last act
He
of
sells
this
it.
film. He's such a
He
good
is.
actor.
He's a fantastic
He
presence.
really
He sells
sells
it
the
so
character.
well.
Yeah, he's one of the most, not more, because everybody in some way or another is convincing, but he's one of the most
Well,
convincing
what
characters.
do we have here?
There's that whole scene.
I thought he just
Go on.
go ahead.
Nope.
I was gonna say I just thought he took a whole lot of he took over a whole lot of the charisma from the cast when he starts being on screen with them,
Mhm.
because he's very absorbed into that role, and I think it's very, very charming.
Yeah, he just is really excellent. I believe it's also one of the first depictions of a black man in a position of authority on screen.
Oh, dope.
Okay, there's this whole scene where one of the lines that Vader says, I don't remember the rest of the scene now because I just watched it with commentary, not
Not
watched
with the
it
dialogue,
like
really.
I did. Yeah. Every now and then a line will be at full volume, and then they'll go into another commentary. But there's this part where like Vader says something about like, oh, this facility is crude, but it should serve our purposes. That whole scene I do not remember. No one
I don't
else
know if
does
I
either.
remember
Okay,
that
that's fine.
either.
I mean to
Yeah,
say that I
no.
don't remember it being in the original.
Yeah, I don't think I do either.
Hey Han,
That's
probably don't call
interesting.
Leia the princess right in front of everybody.
Yo, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good
Because
idea.
he intentionally calls her Leia when they first arrived to Cloud City. So, or rather, she introduces herself as Leia. Maybe I don't remember. One of the two. Okay, I've got my final two notes here. When Luke shows up and he first spots the group that's like Leia, Chewie, and the Imperials escorting them. The Imperial officer immediately grabs Leia to use as a meat shield the second the shooting starts.
Immediately.
Yeah, it's pretty. So I thought that was pretty funny. It's like, hey, yoink! Like he takes it from the stormtrooper that's escorting her and is like, yeah, this is my meat shield now.
She will be my defense now.
Mm-hmm. And then my final note is Vader's "You have learned much, young one" to Luke actually sounds very proud of him, which I thought was kind of funny.
Vader does sound pretty proud
Yeah,
of Luke when
there
he
is an
starts
element of
swinging sabers.
there is an element of pride to the lightsaber duel for sure.
I think it's maybe the first planting of the seed that changes Vader's mind in the end.
Hmm.
You know,
Could be.
I think there's some possibility to that.
just
Yeah.
he's seeing he finally is like he's found his son, and like without his own intervention, the kid's still a Jedi somehow
Mm-hmm.
and able to stand
Mhm.
up to him. I don't know. Maybe it just
It
at
might
least
spur something.
reignites the conflict inside him.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely could be.
Yeah. I think that's a fair enough note. Yeah.
Hmm.
I had some notes on the fight itself as
Okay.
well. I think it's basically the first like decently cool fight of in terms of lightsabers in the series.
Yes. In the OT.
In the OT, like yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely not as slow and bad as I remember it. It was
It's
pretty good.
it's
It's obvious that
main.
Vader's taking it easy on Luke. I'm really sorry for interrupting you.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh
it's
yeah. No,
obvious that
go ahead.
Vader's taking it easy on Luke, but yeah, it is definitely there are stakes and Luke is really going at it, and it's definitely not just like this
Yeah.
slow, ponderous fight like
I
the
don't-
fight between him and Obi-Wan.
I don't know
Yeah,
if
when
this
I
will
think it.
belong
Oh, go ahead, David.
in the movie, but like I did write the note after the Rogue One scene. It looks like Vader's taking it easy on everyone.
Yeah, I mean when you look at compared to
Kinda, yeah.
newer stuff for sure, but I don't know. I thought it was fine.
It was good, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and in the context of when it was released, I think it really does take like a lot of inspiration from samurai like Kurosawa films.
Yes.
Where any strike that breaks through the defense of the sword is gonna end the fight, whether by literally killing the opponent or by maiming them to
Yeah.
to the point where they're out of the fight.
Cutting their
And
arm off. Yeah.
it's proven by the fact that the one strike that gets through Luke's defense cuts off his hand and ends the fight basically right there.
I think from
But
a filming standpoint, I really like the way they did that and kept it like the Kurosawa films.
It's
Well,
actually I'd hate to counter this because it's not technically true. It's actually based on fencing and not samurai fights. The first one is a little bit more in line with what you're talking about. It's about because their clashes are about one side pressing the other down or back, which is a little bit more like oh god, what's it called? The actual martial art. I could tell you, but it's escaping my mind right now. You're both gonna know it the second I say it. Kento.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
Is it Kento? Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Kendo? Is that it? Something like that.
Kendo.
It's Kendo.
Yeah.
I think the Obi-Wan Vader fight is a lot more like Kendo, and they explicitly mention in the commentary being inspired by, I want to say it's Ran. Ran, yeah, it's based on Ran, which is by Kurosawa. Okay.
Nice.
So they mentioned that in the
Yeah.
first one, and then the second one, Irvin Kershner was in charge, not Lucas, of that particular thing, and he used a fencing expert to help choreograph the fight. It can still definitely be inspired by, but I think the movements themselves are not particularly reminiscent of Kendo.
I think it's
Absolutely not.
I think it's worth looking at those films in terms of specifically Luke's sort of the way he desperately fights, whereas Vader's very casual and obviously taking
Well,
it easy, but
in
even
that
when he's
vein,
taking it easy, Luke is having like a hard time keeping up and has to
yeah.
like there's desperation to how he behaves in that fight.
Well, in that vein, did the director also hire a baseball coach for that fight?
No, that's gonna be the next one when Luke starts putting all 10 toes down and swinging for the fences.
I mean, he was.
Yeah, that's
Everything I saw
really
looked way more fencing, and Luke was aggressive at the beginning, but I don't think he was desperate.
Yeah.
When Vader starts throwing shit at him is when Luke actually loses his cool. He's winning that fight, despite Vader taking it easy on him. He's winning that fight until that point.
Yeah.
until Vader starts throwing
don't
shit
think
at him.
I don't think any of his actions are necessarily desperate until that point in the fight.
Fair enough.
it's it ends once the guard is broken and Luke's arm is gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I think that drives the impact of it all that we need, because
Well, it's a disarming maneuver, and it literally
Yeah.
disses his arm.
Literally, this is his arm.
yeah,
So.
fuck your arm.
Because it's explicitly not a guard break. It's a flourish
Yeah.
to disarm, and it just so happens to
Yeah.
also take the arm.
That would explicitly be a fencing maneuver, not a kendo maneuver.
Well, and you can see in the
True.
specific way in which Vader twirls it. I believe it's one-handed. You wouldn't do that in kendo.
Yeah.
It would be two-handed.
Yeah.
I could be wrong though. Maybe it is two-handed, and maybe maybe it is supposed to evoke samurai. But I got the impression it felt more like fencing.
I think Vader in general is supposed to evoke a little bit of samurai, but the fighting style is very fencing. Like he's got this big heavy presence and he moves forward slowly, but he swings his lightsaber around like it's almost not actually connected to his body.
Hmm.
He's always kind of a fencer, And
Yeah.
it gets more and more into that style the more he's the more he's on screen. It's not quite as exaggerated in A New Hope, but it's a little bit more obvious in this one in Empire Strikes Back, where his attacking hand is out front and the rest of him is just orderly behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, final notes. Anybody?
Have a couple more. Yeah.
Hit us.
I don't. Because these are the last ones that I added up right as I was watching the credits, so I don't quite know how exactly they line up in the final timeline. But I really like how when Chewie turns 3PO back on as he's repairing him, 3PO replays like the last minute or so
Mm-hmm.
of action from his thoughts before he got blasted. So he's like, "Oh no, Imperials! I better warn everyone." And then, "Oh no, they shot me."
I've been shot. Yeah.
Um.
If you
And
have
then
subtitles
then
turned
there's-
on, his like gibberish lines are also in that vein, where he says something like "I'm terribly sorry" or whatever. But you can't tell just
Yeah.
from listening to it. If you have the
Mhm.
subtitles on, you can catch it.
Yeah. And then there's I think the whole "no, there is another line" from Yoda is supposed to be paid off by Leia hearing Luke, and that's just the indication that we get that she would have been the other one.
Sure.
But
It could be.
I couldn't tell you.
It definitely
No.
could be.
I couldn't tell you.
Irvin Kershner, again, a man who I think saw this movie for the first time doing the commentary, seems to believe that it's not a reciprocal connection. It's just Luke reaching out to Leia.
Mhm.
But I think it makes more sense if you interpret it your way.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
because the only other time we see Luke do that, it's with Vader roughly 2 minutes later. And it's shown much the same way. And we know that they're related.
Yeah.
So I think it makes more sense to interpret it your way. But I don't believe that was Irvin Kershner's intent. Or at least he'd forgotten that was his intent by the time he actually saw the film he made.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I had a final joke for the final scene.
Do it.
Chewie and Lando drop Han and Leia, not Han and Leia, Luke and Leia off at Hands Crafters, where you can get a new hand in under an hour. Har 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 har. Credits roll.
Stupid joke, Davey. Jesus.
I didn't